The financial figures were before a Treasury Select Committee, who had gathered questions from the general public. First, the business of regulating credit rating agencies within the bank world.
There are moves both in the European Union and wider than that internationally to regulate the credit rating agencies. Probably it's fair to say that in Europe the whole thing is further down the track, in that there are only 27 countries involved as opposed to potentially many hundred, I suppose. But I think that the recognition is that they do need to be regulated. They are pretty important. I'll just come back to a point I made earlier, though, that I've always believed that a board of a bank should rely on a credit rating agency for an assessment, but it shouldn't substitute the credit rating agency's judgment for its own. And I rather think that happened on too many occasions. But there's other issues like conflict of interest with credit rating agencies, a number of issues that need to be looked at. So I agree with you. This is an area where we need to change the way in which we've done things.
Global problems, he repeated, required global solutions.
Given the nature of what we're dealing with, a solution in one particular country, especially when institutions are trading across several, I don't think would be adequate. You need to have a solution that's certainly at a European-wide level, but also much wider than that internationally. I think to try and, for us to have a solution that's purely directed to the UK wouldn't be enough. And the risk is, if you did it in one country, you'd simply result in people going elsewhere. And you really don't want that.
The Bank of England governor was asked about the future within the UK.
As for the future, the banks will need to regenerate new sources of funding. The level of savings will be there. Indeed, one would expect that the next year or two the domestic economy will be saving more as a fraction of GDP than it has in recent years. So I've no doubt that the savings pool is there. And one of the aims of the guarantee borrowing programme is to give banks a start in terms of obtaining guarantee borrowing to start funding lending to the real economy by looking to those sections of the non-bank financial economy and the non-financial sector from which it was not obtaining funds before.
The Financial Services Authority chairman was asked about big bank bonuses.
We have a responsibility to look at how the structure of bonuses, not necessarily the level of bonuses, but the structure of how bonuses are paid, what they are paid for and in what they are paid, may affect risk-taking. That is our responsibility. So we are certainly looking at, and we have sent a letter to the chief executives of all of the banks asking them for information about the way that they structure their bonus payments. We will be incorporating analysis of that within our normal supervisory processes. We have the ability, if we want, to just tell people that we consider their bonus structures inappropriate, and we have the ability, if we want, to reflect inappropriate bonuses in a higher level of capital requirement. And we will certainly consider using all that, and it is also an issue under discussion among the international regulatory discussions, for instance, within the Financial Stability Forum.
No doubt there will be more sessions like this on the complicated world of financial regulations.
Head of the Icelandic